vast expanse of the African savannah, where golden grasses stretch endlessly and the air hums with the breath of life and death, a story was quietly unfolding, one not of predator and prey, but of pain, trust, and the unlikeliest of bonds. A lion, majestic once, feared and respected, now lay broken. His mane was matted, his breathing shallow. He had been struck down by a powerful buffalo, a single blow to the ribs that sent him crashing to the earth. Days passed, the wound festered, flies gathered. He could barely stand, let alone hunt. The once king was now a shadow, forgotten by his pride, left to fade in silence. But he wasn't alone for long. From beyond the brush, a human figure appeared, a wildlife tracker named Daniel. He wasn't armed. He wasn't there to tranquilize or tag. He was drawn by the buzzards circling above. What he found wasn't what he expected. A lion still breathing, barely, and not hostile. Weakness had stolen his aggression, but something else showed in the lion's eyes: fear, confusion, and pain. Daniel didn't turn away. Slowly, cautiously, he crouched near the beast. He spoke in a calm voice, repeating the same words over and over. "I'm here to help. Just help." The first time he could do little, just assess the wound and bring water. The lion growled, but didn't strike. The second day, Daniel returned with a basic medical kit: antiseptic, bandages, meat soaked in painkillers. Again, the lion allowed it. The third day, something shifted. As Daniel reached toward the wound, the lion raised his head and licked Daniel's hand. It was a small gesture, but it was everything. Weeks passed. The lion's strength returned. He limped, then walked. He stopped flinching when Daniel approached, and every day, Daniel returned with food, water, and medicine. At night, the lion lay beneath the stars, the wind carrying distant calls of other predators. But he didn't follow. He stayed near the camp. He chose to stay. Word of the bond began to spread among nearby rangers and tribespeople. Some called Daniel foolish. Others called him brave. But all were curious about the man who had tamed a lion without force. One morning, Daniel set out on his usual trail walk. He didn't realize he was being tracked, not by the lion, but by danger. A young pride, newly formed and untested, spotted him. Curious, hungry. Daniel paused. One lioness began to stalk, then another. A low growl rumbled through the brush. The young lions froze, and from the shadows, the wounded lion emerged. Not weak now, but towering, mane bright against the sun, eyes burning with warning. He placed himself between Daniel and the pride. One roar. That was all it took. The pride scattered. Daniel stood in stunned silence. The lion turned and licked Daniel's hand again. From that day, they became inseparable. The lion never followed closely, always at a respectful distance. Wild, still, but loyal, watchful. Months passed, seasons changed. The lion regained his power, but he never forgot. He would rest near the camp, hunt nearby, and on more than one occasion was seen warding off poachers, chasing vehicles with a fury few dared challenge. Daniel had never asked for a companion. He had never tried to tame the beast. But something had happened, something primal. In a world where fear usually governs every interaction between human and animal, they had found another way. Mutual respect, shared pain, survival. Daniel spoke about him to schoolchildren, telling the story of a creature many saw as dangerous, but who had shown more humanity than most. "He didn't owe me anything," Daniel would say, "but he came back anyway." And perhaps that's the lesson, that kindness, even when it seems foolish, even when it seems small, can echo louder than any roar. Today, the lion still roams the savannah. He is older now, slower, but still feared, still respected. And from time to time, he returns to the spot where Daniel once sat with him, treating his wounds under the wide African sky. No chains, no commands, just memory. The lion never needed a cage. All he needed was to be seen.